Have you ever practiced ruining a relationship without realizing you were doing it? It is a psychological paradox where, instead of protecting a connection, we spend our time actively chipping away at it. This behavior is the central theme of the 2004 hit song Me Dediqué a Perderte, performed by Mexican star Alejandro Fernández. The song was co-written by hitmaker Leonel Garcia. The title translates to, "I devoted myself to losing you," a phrase that frames the end of a romance not as an accident, but as a deliberate daily investment. Millions of people bought this track because it traded romantic idealism for a specific realization that love doesn't just fade, it is something we can systematically dismantle. The lyrics perform a psychological autopsy of a relationship, starting with the first phase of sabotage, ignorance. Specifically, the failure to appreciate the value of a partner in the present moment. The first verse asks, "Why didn't I kiss your soul when I still could?" It defines the specific point where a person stops paying attention, allowing a deep connection to become part of the background. This perspective was a shift for Garcia. As a member of the duo Sin Bandera, he was known for writing successful, traditional romantic pop hits that focused on the beauty of falling in love. With Me Dediqué a Perderte, Garcia forced the listener to confront the quiet, slow-moving damage they might be causing to the person closest to them. This phase of sabotage isn't driven by malice, but by a sense of security that makes emotional neglect feel invisible until the damage is already done. That neglect eventually transitions into the second phase mentioned in the lyrics, the ego. The singer admits to leaving his partner for later due to his own pride. This is a common trap, prioritizing our own world and distractions, assuming a partner's patience is infinite. The lyrics call it a literal withdrawal. I locked myself in my world. The shared circles detach, and the connection is severed. It is a blunt confession of selfish behavior. Yet, instead of pushing listeners away, this raw honesty drew them in. The ego phase is so effective because it often disguises relationship neglect as necessary self-preservation or even personal growth. We can see the scale of this resonance in the commercial performance of Alejandro Fernández's 2004 album, A Corazón Abierto. In the US, the song spent 20 weeks on the Billboard Hot Latin Songs chart, reaching number 4. In Mexico, performance was even more dominant, hitting number 1 on the Monitor Latino charts and becoming a market staple. This happened in 2004, a year when the Latin music landscape was completely dominated by upbeat, party-centric pop. A confessional ballad about being a failure in a relationship was a significant outlier. This sustained performance suggests that the villain described in these lyrics was a character millions of listeners recognized within their own lives. The song's narrative ends with a final realization, the point of no return. The narrator returns to his partner, only to find they are looking at him differently. In psychology, this marks the moment where a partner's active frustration is replaced by indifference. Once a person stops feeling the pain of neglect, they usually stop feeling the connection entirely. Me Dediqué a Perderte isn't a song about missing a lost love. It is a forensic look at how that loss was manufactured. Ultimately, it suggests that the most difficult part of heartbreak isn't the loss itself, but the realization that you were the primary architect of it. By 2013, the song had transitioned from a contemporary hit into a permanent part of the cultural landscape. Leonel Garcia eventually released his own version of the song, featuring international pop star Thalía, introducing the lyrics to a new generation of listeners. This revival confirmed the song's status as a cross-generational anthem. Its themes of regret and self-inflicted distance remained relevant nearly a decade after its release. It serves as a reminder of the active nature of love. It isn't a passive state, but a bond that requires constant attention and presence to survive. The final lesson of the track is a paradox. If you are not consciously dedicating yourself to maintaining a relationship, you are, by default, dedicating yourself to losing it.